Hi everybody, Beth here from Access Paranormal for this cool little video on the three biggest differences between researching possible paranormal phenomena here in the UK compared to what it's like in Australia. So why would I know the difference? Let me tell you, it's not just the accent. I've lived in Australia most of my life, and I've also lived in the UK for about 2.5 years all up collectively, and both those times I've been interested in researching possible paranormal phenomena. And that's why I love this particular subject. And there are three key differences when it comes to trying to research this enormous subject. So the first one is there are so many academic organisations here in the UK that you can actually have direct access to. I mean, the most notable is this Society of Psychical Research. You've got ASIP as well. Australia does have the Australian Institute of Parapsychological Research, but they've been around since about 1977, I think. And of course, a lot of the information gathered from APA in Australia comes from these particular organisations because they've been running for around 150 years. So the information already is coming from the UK, majority of it, just the research and data. I mean, Australia, when it comes to researching possible phenomena, I mean, Indigenous Australians have been around for what we know of 70,000 years. It's the oldest language, the oldest culture, but a lot of it is verbal. It's not written down, and Indigenous Australians don't like to talk about death either. So there's real restrictions there. So what we have from purely Australian written research data is not a lot compared to what it is here in the UK. So the information, there's so much information here, and the access to it is huge. So that's the first difference. Second biggest difference is the fact is the frequency of events. There are so many events that you can attend here, conferences and workshops, as opposed to what it is in Australia. It's a big piece of land. It's lots of travel, which we'll get into the next point. But there is the frequency of events. So not just the frequency, but the different types of events and workshops that you can go to as well. And also training weekends as well, which I've absolutely loved since being here and moving here. So that's another big thing as well. With research, you need to continue your learning, and actually going to events is really, really important. Another step in that learning as well. Which leads me to this last point, which is the distance in traveling. So it does actually make it more difficult in Australia to actually learn a little bit more and do your research, because you do need field experience. And often, you know, in Australia, you could be driving 4 to 6 hours to a location and then stay overnight, and then come back on the next day, or even for a weekend, and that can hinder it because it's a lot of time taken out for traveling. You know, 90% of Australia lives on the coast, and that also, as I said, it makes it a more of a challenge here. You don't have that same sort of issue. Sure, there's places that are regional out from London, where I am at the moment, but it's definitely not the same. Different times of traveling distances and or times as well. So it's a lot easier when it comes to researching. So there's three big differences when it comes to researching in the UK and Australia about possible paranormal phenomena.